Hello, everybody, and welcome to week 5 of Scripting for Games. So this week we'll continue working through the junior programming pathway or junior programmer pathway, and we will jump into Create with Code 2. So we're getting through our units. This week you'll be working in Unit 3, which is going to be looking mostly at sound and effects, or that's the name of the unit anyways. But we'll also be looking not just at sounds and particle effects, we'll also be looking at animations too. So a lot of this will be dealing with kind of polish to games and adding a lot of nice variety and detail in here. So this section is going to be really important, especially for as you guys develop your own games and start to want to make it really feel like an immersive experience. So again, audio is going to be key to any kind of game that you play, no matter what kind of genre, what style. Special effects really help, special effects and animations really help the game space feel more involved and more complete and more like a real world. So this content that we're working on this week will be incredibly important, especially as you start to develop your own games. So the first prototype you will be working on in Unit 3 is going to be an endless flat or 2D kind of running game. All you have to do is your character will be running. Once you press spacebar, your character will jump, and you have to avoid obstacles for as long as you can. So these obstacles will be cones or crates or traffic dividers or things like that. And so the concept of the game is pretty simple, but the execution and the details are really where the kind of meat of this project lies. So just like in previous weeks, you'll want to complete the whole unit minus the lab. You don't have to create the lab, but you can if you want to. I highly recommend playing in those labs because they are a really great way to show you how you can mimic these own concepts, but in a completely scratch and homebrewed project without having to use the frills and the pre-made assets that the project package or the project provides. So you guys will complete the endless runner, and then you'll complete the challenge. So the challenge is a little bit different. Again, just like previous challenges, this challenge will really build off of what you've worked on in the endless runner. So instead of an endless runner, the challenge is actually an endless floater. You'll play a balloon who is navigating an endless running space, trying to avoid obstacles and collect objects. So think Flappy Birds with a balloon and less tubes and less birds. You'll be floating in a balloon. Whenever you press spacebar, your balloon will go up. Once you let go, it will drop down, and you'll only control vertical movement. Your background will be scrolling, and you'll be collecting dollar signs or some sort of collectible, and then you'll avoid bombs or obstacles. And then finally, just as weeks passed, make sure you complete quiz 3. And there is a bonus features 3, share your work. You can share your work if you'd like, but that is not going to be required for the course. Although if you want to, and if you're interested in doing so, I highly recommend sharing what you've worked on. They also have some really great stuff on kind of like retworking or retooling the base project from Unit 3 and kind of adding a little bit more variety to it. So like randomizing obstacles, which is something we've talked about in Unit 2 with your randomized animals. Also taking a look at double jumping or adding a dash ability and a score. Take a look at that. It won't be required. I'm not making it mandatory, but if you want to do the bonus features 3, I highly recommend you guys checking it out. So once you complete the first unit and Create with Code 2, which is Unit 3, you'll submit that. So make sure you're including, it can be just as simple as a screenshot, but make sure you include, completion of Unit 3 in the Unity Learn, and make sure you're also submitting your quiz scores or just a completion of your quizzes. And then you'll also want to submit videos at the very least, videos of gameplay for your Unit 3 prototype and your Unit 3 challenge prototype. So with both of those, as in weeks past, make sure you're showcasing every single element that you worked on. And for these videos, sound is going to be important, so make sure you include that in your video recordings as well. If you're not including sound, then you will not get full credit. If it's easier, you're more than welcome to make a build of the game and submit that too. And if you have questions about that, just let me know. But you'll submit that the same way you submitted your projects for Unity Play. You just don't need to zip up your build folders, but I would probably prefer you do that. It makes them easier to transport and upload. So that's it for this week. Once you guys finish the weekly content, so Unit 1 or the Unit 3 project and the Unit 3 challenge, then you'll post your links to the discussion and just discuss, what you thought about this unit, particularly with the challenge. What were some of your solutions and how did you come to those? So the challenge this week is going to be a little tricky, and if you've had trouble with the challenges in the past, this one will be no different. But just be prepared for that. Use all the resources that are available. Also, remember to reference back projects that you've already worked on in the junior programming pathway, because this all builds upon the same information. And make sure to reference the discussion post in the actual Unity Learn tutorial. Because remember, there are discussion threads in there as well as the hints. And if it comes down to it, message me. I'm happy to help you guys work through this stuff. So good luck. I hope it all goes well. And if you have questions, make sure you're making use of the office hours. And if you can't meet during those hours, just send me an email. I'm happy to help. So good luck and have fun.